I don't want to contribute towards spreading a false narrative here, but it's not looking too great for Kamaru Usman. I know a lot of you boys have been enjoying the Misfits content that I've been putting up, but my bread and butter is MMA. It's the UFC, and I want to cover this weekend's UFC event, UFC 294. It's public knowledge that Kamaru Usman has got bad knees. He has done for years. He's had meniscus surgeries, he's wrestled for years, and he publicly stated that it was difficult for him to even walk on concrete. But I think the situation's getting even worse. This weekend he fights Khamzat Chimaev. This is not an easy outing, and it's at middleweight, 185. Kamaru Usman is used to fighting at 170. First off, let's just dive into Kamaru Usman's record. Let me load it up on the screen right here for us and get me face on the side. Right, let's take a look at Kamaru Usman's last fights. Let's look at his wins, to be specific. His last win was against Colby Covington. Colby is a small welterweight. He's quite lean for the welterweight division, but he's more like a 160, 165 pounder. He hasn't really got a big frame, but that was his last win. And then his win previously to that was Jorge Masvidal, who is a blown-up lightweight. Jorge Masvidal is a 155er, and I know fighters fill out as they get a little bit older, but even when you look at Jorge fight now, he's not a shredded welterweight. He's still got a little bit of body fat on him. He could easily make 155, no doubt about it. You've got Gilbert Burns. He's also a 155er. He's a blown-up lightweight. And then you've got Jorge Masvidal again. Then you've got Colby Covington again. And then we got Tyron Woodley. When was that? In 2019. So the majority of Kamaru Usman's wins came against small welterweights, all of whom don't have super strong wrestling. Obviously, Colby Covington does, but they didn't wrestle much in their fights. And then his last two fights against Leon Edwards, he lost. His knees are getting bad, and we have proof for this. And as I say, I don't want to be the one who's spreading false narratives here, but on Twitter, these videos have been doing the rounds, and it's clear evidence that Kamaru Usman is struggling right now. He's struggling to stand up. He's struggling to grapple. Let me just show you exactly what I mean. This is the open workout. Kamaru Usman on the left, Justin Gaethje on the right. Let's see what happens. Did you notice that? Let's run it back. Watch as Kamaru Usman takes down Justin Gaethje. Something happens. Kamaru Usman says something here to Justin Gaethje. It's a little bit worrying. Did you hear that? If not, I'm going to run you through it frame by frame. So Kamaru Usman lifts Justin Gaethje up. He dumps him down like this. Now watch Justin Gaethje's face. He's looking at Kamaru Usman in a somewhat concerned manner, like something's just happened. And then listen what he says and look at what Justin Gaethje does. So he grabs Kamaru Usman by the arm as if he's worried about him. And then he says, "Are you okay?" And then Kamaru Usman, he doesn't look too happy there. Listen what Usman says. I'm going to turn it right up so you can hear. It sounded like he said it popped or something popped. You hear it? Look on Justin Gaethje's face. Look, he grabs his arm and says, "Are you okay?" And then Kamaru Usman says, "It popped." And then watch Justin Gaethje's face again. So Justin Gaethje looks away. Kamaru Usman says it popped. And then Justin Gaethje looks right back at him. Now. See, this doesn't look good. And then watch how Kamaru Usman gets up from being on his knees. He constantly braces on his legs to get up to a standing position. So watch him get up now. There you go. He's got a brace on that left leg. And he doesn't look too stable. And then also, even as he walks back here, Justin Gaethje grabs him, almost as if Kamaru Usman's going to fall. Right here. Now, it could have just been because Justin Gaethje had grabbed Kamaru Usman and Kamaru just stopped randomly. They kind of stepped on the same part of the mat, but it just looked like he lost a little bit of stability there. But regardless, the main concern is this part. Justin Gaethje obviously looks at Kamaru very concerned, in a concerned manner right there. And then he immediately grabs Kamaru Usman's arm and says, "Are you okay?" And then I wish this quality was a little bit better so we could lip read and we could zoom right in. But it sounds like he says it popped or something popped. Now, Kamaru has refuted this. Justin Gaethje also said this. He said, Justin Gaethje claims Usman is fine. He said, "I'm good," or something like that. "I thought he hit his head on the mat. I asked him if he hit his head in this clip when we got up, and he said no." It doesn't sound like in that interaction Justin Gaethje says something about his head. It sounds like he says, "Are you okay?" And then Kamaru Usman says it popped. Now, Kamaru actually responded to this and he said, "This is why no one reads this shitty ass blog. At what point, whilst I was drilling, did you hear me say that to Justin? Stop with the clickbait, you idiots." Excuse me. And then Usman responded to this with a video on his YouTube channel. So let's see what he's saying.
Guys, I mean, this is crazy. Yesterday, seeing that the tweet, it just goes to show how crazy people just jump on news and media, and oh, that must be true. That person said that. That person said that. Whoever started it, whoever said they heard or saw, like, how could you have possibly heard what I said when it's me and Justin on a stage in front of thousands of people in a mall? Were you next to us to where you heard what I was saying?
The camera was next to you, and it did sound like you were saying something popped. I'm not getting a Kamaru Usman here. I actually really like him as a fighter. I just don't think this response is clarifying what he said.
Are stupid. Just dumb. And if my knee was hurt, why would I get up and consist of hitting mitts? Oh my God. People believe anything you put on this internet. Anything. Any fucking thing. Whoever that.
I actually don't believe like his knee is hurt or injured. I just think he's got shaky knees. Did he say it popped? It sounded like it. Maybe he didn't. Justin Gaethje's refuting it, but they're not going to come out and say, yeah, something popped.
That was, stop it. Stop with the clickbait. Did not say that. Clearly, I'm fine. Dummies.
So, what did you say then, Usman? Because that would be the best thing to do, is to actually clarify. Also, if he didn't say it, what's the need for the response video? There's been stuff in the past where people have had like staph infections on the build-up of fights. People have said, oh, what's that on his chest, or what's that on his arm? And the fighters literally don't address it, because if you address it, you bring attention to it. And the best thing you can do is just ignore everyone and just stay focused on the fight. By Kamaru addressing this and then Justin Gaethje addressing it, maybe there is something in it. Maybe it does hold some weight. But not only that, the full workout was uploaded to the Mac Life on the YouTube channel. I was watching it this morning, and he definitely does look shaky on his knees. There's a few moments in this video where he's getting up. Pretty much every single time he gets up, he's always bracing his hands on his knees. I know it's looking into it a little bit too much, guys, but in the world of fitness, there's something called the sock test, and it's particularly for people who are a little bit older. Can you put one sock on whilst staying balanced on the other foot? He looks very unstable, just taking his pants off and taking his socks off. Takes his socks off, a little bit of instability there, and then a little bit more instability there. Let's not look into it too much. It's just one little thing I noticed. As Gaethje is just bang bang, socks off. Athletic sock taking off skills by Gaethje right there. So this is the first little grapple engagement they have. Let's watch Kamaru Usman get up from the mat. Okay, he throws Gaethje down. He's on his knees. And then he should just be able to get up by planting one foot and just standing right the way up. You're pretty much doing a split squat or a lunge. Something that every athlete should be able to do. But watch Usman, right? I'm going to take you frame by frame. He braces on his left knee there, and then he loses balance here. What I'm thinking happens here is he's bracing on that left knee. It somewhat gives way, or it hasn't got enough stability in, or it's got a bit of pain in it, and he transfers his weight onto his right leg very fast. See, there. I'll just show you one more time in slow motion. So watch. He braces on that knee and then almost jumps onto his right knee. I think Kamaru Usman's left knee is screwed, is jacked up. Personally, he might have been struggling with this for years and nothing's changed, but now that he's a little bit older, he's been in a few wars, he's coming off 2 losses, the training starts catching up with you, it might just be a lot more noticeable for him. He shouldn't have to brace himself on his knees like this. Now, I also want to be fair to Kamaru Usman. The next sequence of movements and grappling exchanges seem completely fine. It's fine when his knee isn't in full flexion. When his knee is only slightly flexed, he doesn't seem to have many problems. This right here all seems fine, because his knees aren't flexing fully. See, he's got no instability here. Seems pretty okay. I want to be fair to Usman here. I don't just want to show the bad moments. With like that movement right there was quite good. You'd think that if he had really bad knee problems, he wouldn't be able to do that. He's lifting Gaethje up, faking the suplex. That takes a lot of leg strength, lower back strength to do this. So really, it tells me that he has problems in the end ranges. So when his knee is fully flexed, because that's when all the tendons and ligaments are fully stretched, and he's had multiple surgeries on his knees. And wrestling does wreck your knees as well. It's more so when Usman goes down to the ground, so he does so here. We want to watch how he gets up. So there we go. Let's see how he gets up now. Does he have to brace? Yeah, so once again, it's almost like second nature for him to brace. So once he almost stumbles back a little bit there. But as we say, if we watch all this, not too bad. Right, now let's watch him get up here. Move my face out the way. Let's watch him get up. Okay, so he didn't brace on his knees there, but he braced on the floor. So watch him. You see? So it seems like every time he's on the floor, he needs help getting up. But this is all fine. Let's watch now. Right, that's the moment. That's where Justin Gaethje says, "Are you okay?" Let's turn it up, see if we can hear from this angle. Yeah, it still sounds like he says it popped. And then Gaethje looks back at him. Let's see if Kamaru stumbles here or if it's just Gaethje trying to navigate his way around Usman. Right here. I don't think that's a stumble there. It might have just been because they stepped on the same part of the mat. It caved in a little bit, and then Gaethje just swung himself around Usman. It looked like a stumble from the other direction. But just there, yeah, I don't think that's a stumble. But all this just isn't a good look for Usman. He's going up against Khamzat, who is not an easy task. Khamzat is the young, hungry lion. Usman is coming off 2 losses. He's a little bit older. I'm not going to make an official prediction in this video. I'm going to do an official predictions either tonight or tomorrow. So make sure you tune in for that. That's the only problem when you start getting multiple surgeries. It fixes your knees, but then at the same time, you never have the same function that you once did. It seems like the main problem is when his knees are in full flexion. So that's when your knee's bent, and extension is when your knee is obviously straight. So Kamaru Usman's known to have pretty decent takedown defense, but I think if Khamzat takes him down, he's not going to be able to get back to his feet, because in order to get back to your feet, you need a lot of strength in your knees when your knee is fully flexed and when those muscles and tendons and ligaments are in their fully stretched range. So as I say, I don't want to spread a fake narrative. Maybe Usman didn't say something popped, but has he got problems with his knees? Yes, we know that. Does he look a little bit unstable getting up off the mat? Yes, he certainly does, but he doesn't look too bad when he's in motion and he's moving around with Gaethje. As I say, it's more so when he's getting up from the ground. What do you guys think of this? Do you think that he said something popped, or did it sound like something different to you? Comment down below, let me know your thoughts on this video. Appreciate all the love and support on the channel. Make sure you tune in. We got UFC content coming up. We got Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou content coming up. I'm also going to start documenting my training process now that I'm doing a little bit, and just document my own journey of getting back to full health. So make sure you subscribe. We upload every single day. I'll see you all later.